All right, welcome back to Forging the Fires podcast. I'm your host, Fireman Rob. Today I have the other half of the good bull, right? Chad, it's such an honor to have you on here today.
Yep, thank you for having me.
So, I just got to meet your daughter, and what an amazing thing to have your daughter kind of follow in your footsteps, to be able to have that opportunity. What does it feel for you to be able to give that to her?
It's honestly just a blessing, really, because I'm a dad where when you see kids playing football and you see the dad, on the sideline really pushing their kid, and you can see that kid's losing their interest because their parents are trying to live through them and really trying to push them to do something that they may showed interest at first, but almost you see a lot of parents pushing kids away from, sports, and they kind of lose that passion. And I always told myself from day one, I'm not going to do that with Addi. If she wants to do something, I'm going to support 100%, but I'm not going to push her to do anything. And she's had this passion from day one. And as a parent, I want to fuel the passion. So she's gung-ho about it. She eats and she lives it like we do. And it's a blessing just to have a kid that, wants to do this, and I don't have to push it on her.
Right.
And that's just the most rewarding thing as a dad, that, she loves what we love, and that's her passion. And I just can't really explain it. It's pretty awesome.
That's unreal. Now, where did your passion for this come into play?
I grew up riding bulls, and I grew up in South Dakota rodeoing.
Okay.
And that's all I really ever known. So, and just got a rodeo scholarship to ride bulls in Oklahoma, and we just stayed down here after I graduated. And, bull riding is a young man's sport, and you're going to grow out of it. Your body can only you're going to take it so much.
Right.
So then when my riding days were over, you always want to stay involved with the sport somehow. Mm-hmm. And then, raising bulls is just the next closest thing. So, and it's good where you got bull riders that come over and come get on for, and you can kind of help mentor them and try to help make them better and just help continue to keep the sport alive.
Now, when you were back riding bulls, I love asking this. Were you a block out the noise guy, or were you like embrace the noise once you got into that shoot?
I guess you have to embrace it. But when I rodeoed, there was nothing like this.
No.
I just did a lot of the rodeos. The buildings weren't like AT&T. They weren't like the PBRs. It's back before the PBR was really going and really big time. So I really didn't get to experience this type of atmosphere.
Even the noise, like just the surrounding, the crowd, everything else that's around you. Like, were you able to block out?
No, you can't even, when you're riding, you can't hear none of that.
Oh,
no, dude, you're in a zone. It's like you're just so focused and you're almost reacting, and your adrenaline's going. You can't hear any of it.
I love that.
You honestly, you don't hear it. You don't hear anything.
Now, when the buzzer goes or whatever it is that signifies that 8 seconds, what is that feeling? Can you hear that, or is it?
Oh yeah, you can. I mean, you can hear that. It's almost like a relief that you stayed on. Because I mean, you look at a lot of these guys; they have under a 50% riding percentage, and it's the best bull riders in the world. So to hear the whistle, it's a good day. It doesn't matter how good the bull is; it's you got it done.
Now, do you remember back in I'm guessing these are lessons that you've given to Addi, like when you got bucked off, when you had those failures, because this sport is like the epic fails that you have, but you still see people getting up, doing it day after day after day. Like, tell me more about that, how you've taught that to, Addi, but also at the same time, how did it help you to get to where you're at today?
Oh man, with the bulls, it's a little bit different because she has to learn that, it's like with anything. Like if you start winning right off the bat, you almost expect it, and then you almost get let down when a bull has a bad day or something. So you got to realize, they're animals. They're not going to feel good. They're going to have bad days. They're going to be off,
right?
And they're not going to perform at the top level every single time. But our deal is, hey, if they're going to have a bad day, we go back to the drawing board. We have to run them through our buck and shoots at home, work with them, and just try to figure out what went wrong, and just to learn from that.
Right. It's such a huge lesson that, I mean, I love watching it, but I was never involved in that kind of realm. So just be able to see like just the amount of resilience, grit that it takes. Now, transitioning into being the owners of the bulls and taking care of the bulls, a lot of people don't understand it. And Addi put it perfectly when she was talking about at home, they're like pets. And I was like, really? That's an amazing thing to understand for people.
Well, we have a bull out tonight that Addi can literally go in his pen right now and sit on him. and he will let her.
That's amazing.
I mean, she can braid his tail in his pen.
Yeah.
And he's like one of the best bulls in the world. Like, like they're bred to buck. I mean, this is in their bloodlines, just like a racehorse is bred to run.
Right.
If that's in their breeding, that's what they know to do. So, I mean, they're really easy to handle. A lot of our bulls, we can get in the pens with them, rub them, scratch them. But when you put them in the lives in the buck and shoot, they know it's time to work, and they're a completely different animal.
That's an amazing thing to understand. It's so important for people to understand. Now, Addi was saying that 14 pounds of food for some of these bulls, like they're machines.
Yeah, like for grain, we'll give them 14 pounds of grain and 2 or 3 flakes of hay a day.
Wow.
So when like our biggest bull here, he weighs 1,880 pounds. So that's a
massive.
That's
bull.
a big bull.
That's a big bull.
So
wow. And what is the lifespan of a bull? Like what are they usually? How long? Many years do they live? Like what does that look like?
Oh, a lot of them they'll live anywhere between 14 to 20.
Okay.
It just depends. But like bucking wise, you'll start putting riders on them when they're 3 or 4, and then to be at this level, there's not very many bulls that are 8 or 9. They're still bucking at this level, because when you run in the bucking shoot, you're getting on the best boars in the world day in and day out.
Yeah, that's a lot. That wears on you. You
ask a lot out of them.
Yeah, and then what does retirement look like for the bull? I love this aspect, because what does it look like
for us? It's got a bunch of pets at our house. So I mean,
you telling me they go in the house?
No, well, at our ranch.
I was gonna say 1,800 pounds. That's gonna be
if they can go in our house. Trust me, Addi would have every single one of them.
I can imagine. So, you'd have to have a really steady bed for her to have. All those.
We have pens that, like the bulls that are done bucking, they just stay at the house, and we just they did nothing wrong, so we don't just haul them off and get rid of them. Like them bulls that are in their keep, I mean they stay forever.
That's amazing.
So it's they're when we raise everything that we have, and when you see them born and watch them, and then wean them and just watch them grow and then develop, and then see them at this stage, it's like they're part of the family.
Man, that's awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
Does the name change? Do they go from like? Do you change the name of the bull as they get in retirement? Like it goes to like Bill or Sam.
No. Like my wife Jenny and Addi, they pretty much name them like when they're born.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's just crazy. A lot of the good ones, their names always seems to fit.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll wait when they're a few weeks old to kind of, because they'll all have their little personality. So they'll kind of look at their personality and go, name them based on what their sire and dam's names are or something. But it's pretty cool.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you being on today, and I appreciate what you all do, and thanks for enlightening me for what actually happens with these bulls, because it's so important, and they're superstars.
Oh yeah, no, it's exciting. And there's a lot of people come. They're more fans of the bulls than the riders. A lot of the people. So it's pretty cool.
I was gonna say, they got to have some trading cards made for these bulls. That's what I'm talking about. You need to have some trading cards.
You're onto something.
I like it. Thanks so much for joining me.
You bet. Thank you.
I love that. Oh man,